what to expect for this week crypto market outlook. Is the bottom in or should we continue to hit lower? Is 60K the bottom? That's the most important thing. Now it's still defending. The bulls are still defending the 60K critical bottom. Okay, we are slightly up about 62, 63. Okay, but nonetheless, I believe it's most likely a short-term relief again from hit lower. Okay, and of course, look at price prediction as well for June, including the institutional exodus foreshadows a crash. Maybe, okay, so yeah, we can see that the stock market is already at the all-time high, and now is beginning to see a correction at the peak. And of course, talking about the ETF as well, one of the biggest money ETF outflow of this year. Okay, all right. So we've seen many are actually pulling out, many are actually going risk off away from this asset class. People are being conservative. All right. So setup hints at a possible defense of June's historically positive median return for Bitcoin. So chart structure now decides whether seasonal buyers or distribution sellers control the next move. Okay, so we can already see the ETF outflow impact that have already affected the Bitcoin's price. Okay, one of the major outflow that we've ever seen. Okay, so Bitcoin spot ETF closed May with 2.3 B in net outflows. Figure is the largest monthly outflow of this year and the steepest since November 2005. Okay, so yeah, one of the biggest. You see a net negative of 2.3 B being thrown out. Okay, all right. Okay, so if we were to compare to the previous historical months, okay, on the Bitcoin price performance, okay, look at all those month of June, okay, so we can see really the month of June tends to be good, tends to be green most of the time. But what happened is that this year alone, okay, is a bear market. So bear market most likely may not follow. Probably we might see another red one again before July, and then hitting by August again with another downtrend. So that's my take here. Okay, for going on for June. So because we already rallied, right, from what, March, April, and I think including May as well, right? Before we see the short term, the major correction again, okay, towards the 60K range. And I think most likely we're going to see a new lows again for the month of June. And let's see probably for July. Okay, there could be a short-term reversal back up again, creating a lower high before heading down. So that's the expectation here going forward, okay, for the next quarter. All right, so the mismatch between heavy ETF selling and a historically positive one sets the central tension for this Bitcoin price prediction. All right, so ETF plays a major part as well, okay, in terms of the Bitcoin price, in terms of sellers. Okay, is actually trying to make it even more a challenge. All right. All right. And then, of course, we look at the rising channel after 38% drop risk, a bearish breakdown. Okay. So what's happening now is that it already rejected at this local top here at 82.7. All right. So not many are expecting to go to 90, but it did not. So now already rejected. So now is again battling the 60K range. Okay. Battling the 60K range, right? And you're going to see whether can it able to maintain that level as support. That's the most important thing. Okay, all right. So the bigger risk now sits with the longer term averages. The 100 EMA is closing in on the 200 EMA. Okay, all right. So these are the ones here. But already this is already the past, so we're already at the 60K level. Okay, all right. So yeah, like I said, overall, this whole year is bearish. The sentiment is bearish. Okay, so you don't want to catch a falling knife. You are planning to buy the dip. There will be a time for you to buy. You don't have to worry. You don't have to be so nervous or probably you think that this is the bottom. No, you've got a long way to go, especially for Q4 this year. Right? It will create a long consolidation pattern. But that's where you want to keep it. So for now, BTC is at 62.1. Then we move on next. Okay, talking about MicroStrategy, right? So I think Michael Saylor did sold about 32 Bitcoin in order to fund its dividend for the investors. A lot of people are holding MicroStrategy shares and face a lot of backlash. oh, you told us to hodl, never sell Bitcoin. So in fact, you can see that MicroStrategy finally sold for the very first time. Ever since they've been buying and holding. Okay. Then what happened right now? I think it was yesterday. So strategy now have already bought in. They added additional 1550 of BTC. So approximately about 101.3 million. Okay. So just days after the first Bitcoin sale in nearly 4 years. All right. So they added again. Okay. All right. So this come in the wake of JP Morgan warning that Michael Saylor strategy may need to rebuild its US dollar reserve to restore investor confidence after his first Bitcoin sale in 2022. Right. So I think there are a lot of fight as well, especially on their STRC dividend pay, right? The 11% thing. So a lot of concerns there as well. How are they going to keep up? Okay, with that kind of momentum. Okay, that you are holding people's Bitcoin in order to give back 11% per annum. Okay, so strategy continues to aggressively accumulate Bitcoin, right? Recently increasing its holding to about 845.2K of Bitcoin, more than 4% of Bitcoin to this now. Okay, and then what happened? Right, although position currently carries an estimate paper loss exceeding about 10B. Right, they've been buying and holding. Okay, so the latest purchase was made between June 1st and 7th of June. Average price of 65.3K. So now it's still underwater, right? The price is at 60, right? Okay, and then of course we look at the sale, right, of 32 Bitcoin at the end of May. Some investors view as a sign that even the most committed corporate Bitcoin buyer might be altering its long-term strategy. So again, I have to tell you that don't hear what they say, but watch what they do. Okay, you're gonna see what's their action. Don't just hear what they say. So at the end of the day, also they sold, right? So end of the day is that how long can you hold, right? Because sooner or later you'll be liquidating that Bitcoin for other purpose. All right. Okay. So now we can see strategies Bitcoin stock pile is now valued around 53.5B based on the current market price. Okay. Now the company holds about 4% of Bitcoin maximum supply of 21 million coins, which is huge, 4%. Competing against BlackRock, I think BlackRock is slightly behind. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna see these two institutions, big institutions, are actually accumulating. Okay, which also causes also another negative perspective, right? So the more the institutional claim or even own, I think the better it is for the market as well, because they can able to manipulate small little. Right? They can able to dump, they can able to pump. So that's the thing. Okay, but institutions coming to actually take possession over this crypto asset. Okay, so overall, I think this is it. Okay, so nothing much to look at, but this is what's ongoing during the bear market. And then, of course, focusing on next, talking about the Clarity Act. On and off again, be hearing this and that they're going to approve, and the Clarity Act has been made. Supposed to approve since, I think, last 2 months, but until now, they're still delaying. And then there's another news again, they're going to urge the Senate to pass the Clarity Act. This is the developer protection. So developer meaning if you are a founder or you are designing the system for the crypto project, okay, XYZ, ABC company, crypto.com or whichever, right? So with the Clarity Act passed, I think most likely it will be a huge boost for not only the developer, but the whole crypto community. So that's what everyone wants, okay? So the push follows Senate Banking Committee approval, the blockchain, Regulatory Certainty Act, also known as BRCA, that will clarify rules for developer and service provider. Right? So with this approval, it gives a lot of debate, a lot of movement. Okay, and it will ease out all these transactions. So when you deal with these people, you don't have to feel the pressure or whether you're concerned over the securities, whichever regulation, right? Okay. Right. So the Clarity Act, okay, is what everybody is focusing on. When is it going to approve? So June 9 letter to Senate leaders John Toon, right, and Charles Schumer. Okay, the group urged passage with the BRCA, right, tech. Okay, so they have already urged and they have already pushed, but I'm not sure when are they going to launch, when are they going to approve. That's the most important thing. There's no clarity with the date. When are they going to push? right? Clarity Act, but there's no clarity with the date. So we respectfully urge the Senate to pass the Clarity Act with the bipartisan BRCA as advanced by the committee. How soon? We do not know. Again, so here's the thing. Then we have signatories including Chris Dixon, again, of A16Z Crypto. And then we have the likes of Brian Armstrong of Coinbase, Mike Novogratz of Galaxy. These are all big CEOs, founders. Okay, Anthony Scaramucci as well. Okay, Anatoly, the founder of Solana. Okay, so yeah, I think all these big players are really, really pushing. Okay, participation shows how the fight now spans exchanges, venture firms, wallets, protocols, and so forth. Okay, so let's see how soon. Okay, right? That's the only thing. Every time they're mentioning Clarity Act, this and that, but again, the price still showing negative sentiment. The price is not following. So, like I said, even if the Clarity Act approved, it doesn't mean anything at all. So approved, good for crypto, good for the whole community. But again, the price will not align. Okay, the price will continue to be the same because we are already in a bear market. So it's no use. So yeah, you want to pass the Clarity Act probably with the right timing during the bull run. Yeah, maybe. You pass it now, probably yes, good for community developers and of course people who are building. That is the most important thing, right? So bear market is where you want to build. You want to network, you want to leverage with people, okay, with these type of projects. Because I think during the bear market is where you need to learn. Okay, where you get to find all those founders who needs people to develop the system, marketers. Okay. All right. Then once the bull run comes in, that's where you get to see, okay, project starts to flourish. Okay, investors start to come in. Then of course, most likely the community, retail especially, will start to go in, okay, FOMO. And that's where it will push up the prices. So that's how it is during the bear phase to the bull phase. Then of course, focusing on the war, right? So another strike came in again, I think yesterday or the last 2 days. Okay, so US strikes Iran. Then what happened? Crypto also affected. So US launched strikes against Iran after downing an Apache helicopter in Straits of Hormuz. So BTC went down about 61K. So again, every time when there's more like this, yeah, we'll definitely tank the market short term. Okay. And I think even with or without the war as well, Bitcoin already seeing its downwards momentum. Even the stock market is already giving signal that it really wants to come down. So with that pullback as well, it will really, really drag the crypto price down even more. Okay. All these are very sentiment. Okay. But again, these are short-term noise. Okay. So what the Trump strikes against Iran mean for the markets, you can see here. Okay. So the US Central Command confirmed that its force initiate self-defense strike. Okay. Around 5 p.m. on Tuesday. Right. So it already downed the Apache helicopter, was safely rescued. Okay. Then, of course, escalation lands on top of earlier US and Israel action under Operation Epic Fury. Okay. So, yeah, again, this guy here, Mario Norfolk. So the war, you think the war is over? Okay. And Trump need to show strength after not retaliating for weeks. So again, like all these are just noise. Okay. Are just playing here and there. Okay. They are trying to take advantage of the market as well. Okay, but again, you can see how Bitcoin Gold and all reacted as well. So it doesn't have any bullish setup, but again, it's heading down, tumbling down. Okay, all right. So previous flare-ups in the US and Iran tension can trigger similar decline as well. Bitcoin dropped to multi-weeks low on liquidity concern and reduced risk appetite, reinforcing how the asset still trades at the high beta day alongside traditional. So yeah, all those are risk-on assets and people are actually moving out. Okay, probably bonds or probably a safe haven asset like the US dollar, right? So that's why you can see the USD as well is starting to strengthen. Okay, starting to strengthen. People are afraid. People are being conservative in the current market condition. All right, so you can see the dollar now is strengthening. Then of course, moving on to the on-chain. So where are we now for the bull market progress? Right? A lot of people say the bottom is in, but how soon is the bottom? Is it confirmed? So we can see we are somewhere around 66%, very, very fast, right? Time flies. We are already 6 months of this year. So how many more months left to see the bottom? Right? June to September is how many more months? Probably another 3 more months, 4 months. Right? When we go Q4, okay, BTC has been a bear market since 6th of October last year. Typical bear market from top to bottom is roughly 1 year long. So this could be very soon. We'll be mentioning October 6th last year. So from June to October is how many months? Right? That's 6, so another 4 months. Right? Another 4 months. Right? So that would mean you're already 66% of the way through. If BTC had another 12-month bear market. Okay? So yeah, we can see here. Okay, 1 year, 1 year. This was when 2018 to 2019, bear market. 2022, 2023, right? You can see here, 1 year as well. So if you were to take the historical data as well, match it with the current data. So we should expect maybe by October. That's what I'm saying, Q4. So for these 3 months, all I need to do, or we need to do, maybe to just spot the chill. Okay, accumulate more stables, dry powder, so that you can able to buy on Q4, right? So why are you so busy to catch the bottom right now? Why do you need to do that? You don't have to do that, right? So just wait, sit down, focus on other things, maybe focus on AI, start upskilling yourself, okay? Try to touch grass or, get away from the screen, okay? Because the time will come that you will accumulate it, but just not now. Okay, so this is the progress. Then bring on next. Talk more about bear market, okay, by CryptoCon. I can see the performance this year. It's now closest to the first bear market in 2014. Is it true? 2014. So where's 2014 here? Right? So yeah, where are we now? Here, 49% drawdown. Okay. So cycle 14 was maybe here, 52%. Right? So the unification zone where all the bear markets have lined up starts in just 10 days, which means Bitcoin will need to be at least 50K by June 18. So that means another 8 more days. So everything's right on track. Look at that. I think this was the, yeah, so this red line, slight red line was here. This was 2014, 32%. Cycle 2 bear market, 2018, also 7%. Then the third bear market would be 2022, which is 17%, right? So yeah, we can see already what's happening. Okay, down. So we go to 50K by 18th of June if everything goes well. And then the unification zone, which is somewhere around June to September. Yeah, that's where transition, the descending channel. That's where it will continue again to go down. Okay, from June to September. So that's what I'm saying, right? You want to really stay defensive for this first half. Second half, only you want to really start attacking again. Okay, but second half, also you have to see, right? How's the situation? Will this continue to go down or to consolidate? So when you consolidate long-term ranging zone, that's where you want to accumulate. Okay, then October, November, final drop. Okay, if really, really goes down this level. Okay, but to go to 84, 86, I don't really think so because of the cycle maturing. Probably 70% looks pretty much acceptable and reasonable enough, okay, for the market to go down at that price. So 35, 45 seems really, really a nice area to accumulate. Okay, I wouldn't really wait all the way to 20,000. I don't really expect this thing to go there. 35, 45K seems good. Okay, even if it touches 50K, yeah, that really tempts me to actually to nibble at least. Okay, so these are the indicators. And then talking about more on-chain Ethereum. So Ethereum looking quite weak, right? So we can see already what's happening. A lot of people are actually calling Ethereum is already dead. Okay, they have already given up. Even myself as well, because if you look at the cost of opportunity as well, I think if you've been holding for the last 2 or 3 years, I think you're still kind of at a loss. Okay, all other alts are actually outperforming against ETH. If you look at it, but what's happening now? Crowd has written off ETH, making the probability of a rebound substantially higher. Let's see, right? So Ethereum social sentiment has fallen to an extreme fear zone as traders react to months of underperformance related to BTC. and many large cap operators. So the chart shows the ratio of positive to negative momentum, right, dropping to one of its lowest levels of this year. So you can see here, now this is the sentiment of ETH. So every time when the sentiment goes to the extreme low, usually there could be a huge bounce, a huge reversal, okay, for this setup here. So what's happening here? FOMO zone crowd really above this line. It was April 22nd. I think this could be last year or this year. Okay, ideal sell point while crowd is showing extreme good. So ETH is around 2,2400. Now this is the FUD zone. Crowd fearful below this line. June 9, ETH back extreme fear. Okay, across social media. It's really a buy signal. Let's see. Because now it's already a bear market. So whatever signal you give is pointless as well. Okay, I won't be catching a falling knife, even though the data also shown already at the extreme fear. And then even giving me a buy signal like this, with this kind of sentiment in the market, I will not even enter, especially for alts. Okay, all right. I would rather accumulate Bitcoin first, and then slowly transitioning my BTC to the alts. That is even much more better, right? So, yeah. End of the day, if you are a believer, maybe you might want to take an opportunity to look into this, to make more if you are into the Ethereum ecosystem, the DeFi, then yeah, that's for you. But I think moving to next cycle, I don't think Ethereum will be in my portfolio, okay, due to the cost of opportunity as well and the performance, because I think there are other outs they can be able to deliver as well, besides ETH, okay? So that's my point of view. And then moving on next, talking about more data here, talking about price momentum. And then, of course, we look at the Bitcoin in deep calculation mode. What is happening next? Okay, so you can see here, Bitcoin price momentum. Okay, so price momentum is sitting at the extreme negative reading. Where is it here? Right, already at the extreme negative reading. First signal of structural reconstruction, simple. Momentum needs to cross back above negative 0.5, which is the dotted lines here, right? That is the moment when price starts building a new formation. Now it tells us capitulation is beginning to ease, trend expansion is possible again. So until that happens, the base case remains fragile. Price builds a range, or price continues to grind lower. See, the keyword here is what? Price builds a range or continues grinding lower. You saw that? So as the price continues to grind lower, we are going to stick below negative 0.5, which is the inflection point. So we're not going to go anywhere above here, okay, until these two things happen, right? Either price consolidate or very long consolidation, like a winter mode, people are getting bored, are getting fed up and lost interest, and then while continue to grind lower, you see that. So with all the data taken into crypto coin as well, okay, we should see the price continue to grind lower, okay, towards end of the year as well. So these are your data here to back things up, not a perma bull perspective, shilling you hope and hope, wishful thinking. These are already happening, right? Okay, so until then, yeah, just sit on spot, sit on stables, and just wait for the opportunity. It will definitely come. Yeah, then moving on to airdrop. So we are doing ET now. Okay, the rewards program ended. Okay, which is the exchange rewards program. So I think this is the last season. Season 6 reward will be available to claim starting June 17, right, which is another week. All right, so one more thing, any unclaimed grants from season 4 or earlier airdrop campaign will be reallocated, okay, on July 9, which is next month. Okay, so you better claim if you are doing this airdrop. And then next, we're going to see here coming in from Kuma season 4. So the checker is now live, so you can able to check, okay, check only, but the claim date is not announced yet. Okay, this is for Kuma. And then more news on the One Football airdrop. Okay. Okay, second batch claim is now live. So you can be able to claim, right, if you're doing this One Football drop. Okay, and then the next one is Gen Layer points distributed. If you're doing Gen Layer, you might want to check it out, okay, on this project. Okay, so other than that, that's the only airdrop use. Then move on next with the coin on the cap. Okay, together with the technical. So if you have any question, feel free to put in the chat box. I'll throw it later on. So we look at the coin market cap now. Where are we? Look at BTC, 62K. The ETH is at 1.6. Okay, we have Ripple 1.1, Solana slightly below 65. Okay, hyperliquid. We'll finally have its pullback, already down 19%. Right? So a lot of these alts are still rallying. Look at that. Olira, deep, Wofu, 8%. Curve down, 8%. And of course, this week there are a lot of exploit as well. Hacks. Again, vulnerable hacks, exploitation on their contract. So these are all the risks in DeFi crypto. You are putting into staking. You have to be very, very careful. Okay. So let's move on next with the technical. So we can see the dominance. Now with dominance. See here. Okay, so the middle band is here, so it's down. Then we look on this support here at 58%, 58.08. If that support were to break, you're going to see this low here at 56.14. And then we look at weekly. So what's the weekly doing? U-turn, rejected. Now it's retesting again on this critical support, 58.3. Let's see whether will it range or will it break and continue to go down. Look at daily. Momentum sell back to the regulatory sell, breaking down, but creating a higher high, higher low. So next target most likely will be the middle band. 59.49 for the dominance. Okay, look at ETH against Bitcoin. No, look at monthly. Again, pump descending, still down. Right? This is still down. Look at that. Look at the support here at 0.02525. And then we're going to look at the middle band as well as a resistance at 0.03046. So it needs to beat that resistance. As of now, it doesn't. But it's also pointless for ETH to outperform against Bitcoin during the bear market. Is totally pointless. Because Bitcoin goes down, alt also will go down, even if the ETH against Bitcoin goes up. So it's pointless, totally pointless. Okay, wrong timing, wrong place at the wrong time if ETH will go up. Okay, because you can see all the alts are already down 90%. Okay, let me look here. Okay, this is the next one, middle band. So far, overall, it's still trending down. Look at that, descending. It's waiting for a huge reversal. Should we see a huge reversal or should we see a breakdown? So this breakdown also could lead you back to the support at 0.02433. Look at daily. Daily also down. Momentum sell, pullback for the regulatory sell. It's going down again. So you can see already what's happening. Okay, it is already downtrend. Your alts also bidding. Let me look at the USDT dominance, right? This is the most important thing here. Where is the USDT dominance going? Look, already all-time high. So in fact, what happened? If we test all these levels here, 9.24, almost at the all-time high here, final boss resistance. Now it needs to maintain this level of support, and it's looking likely to maintain. It's trying to test again. And this will be the support here, 8.05. Look at weekly. Momentum, pullback, break, descending, break, so on. So now this level turned to support. So where's the next resistance here? This level here, 8.77 weekly. And it's looking quite bullish. Look at it. Right? A lot of people are reserving USDT now. Higher highs, higher lows. Again, consolidating. Let's see. You're able to maintain about this level of support. Okay, so these are your range here for USDT dominance. Or we see another value. And then BTC, 62K. Right? Look at monthly. Okay, so what's happening now with monthly? Critical support at 8.7. So this was when 2024 levels. Most likely to revisit more. Okay. So what happened? Break below the middle band, pull back to the lower high, rejected on the sell zone, breaking down again. So it clearly already shows you that this is a bear market. How is this a bull market here? Right? Even if you form a bottom, it will consolidate a very long range consolidation. So what we are seeing now is something similar like this. Coming down like this, slowly coming down like this. Break down. And it's probably going to break down. And then probably we're going to see this descending channel like this. Like what CryptoCon mentioned. One more round like this. And then finally goes up. So this was 2022 level. Yeah, it will give you something like this. Okay, down, consolidating, then another one more round. So it's another year, right? Q4, and then finally take off again. So maybe we should see something like this moving forward. So now this is already happening here. Okay, for this, look at weekly. What we see here, rejected, even on this critical support, also broke 65.8. Now only relying on this previous support as a 60K. So we're going to see whether how much more can it hold on this 60K level. Okay, because I think we're going to look at all these levels as well, 655.9, and then probably all these wicks here at 9.6. So that all these are the levels to watch. And look at daily now. So daily we can see momentum sell, entry sells, consolidating sideways. Okay, so we're going to see probably maybe here to test, maybe here. Let's the next resistance here. 65.8. That's 65.8 will be the resistance. Then look at H4. What is H4 doing? Maybe this could be a double bottom. Right, double bottom here. Okay, let's see whether can it able to break. So breaking above the middle band, and then slowly confirming above this level here, 64.1, maybe yes, or you might not. Let's look on next to ETH. Let's bring down ETH. No, it's down. Look at that, your cost of opportunity. They went to a high of how much here? 4.9, slightly below 5K. Okay. All these critical support broke. The 1.7 is broke. And what else? Next level is where? Here. 1.2. The 1.2K is on the cards. Look at weekly. Another bearish candle forming again. Let's see. We're going to look at all these levels as well to close. 1.5, 1.569. Look at daily. Momentum sell back to the bearish sell. It's looking set to break down, but let's see whether it consolidate or to break higher first. Okay, and then to retest on this middle band at 1887. That's what it did. So overall, we can see it is bearish, but again, I believe that lower high before hitting down. Then we look on next with the altcoins, right? What's happening now with altcoins? Not here to cover. Even this humanity protocol. All these tokens are exploited. One dump is huge dump, isn't it? 85 cents to what? 19 cents. 77%. And all the way down to 7 cents. Or 91% down. Huge. It's your spot. Then of course this as well. Current spot 16 cents. Look at the weekly time frame. Look at humanity. Look at that huge dump like that. It's a rug pull. This one, huge rug pull like this. The bearish engulfing. So you got a lot to cover here. This level here. And of course this level here, 22 cents. Right. So look at daily. Breakdown. Okay, break all those levels here. Now came back all to these levels. April 26 level back. So what does it tell you? All the risks. Okay, this support also broke. Now maintaining. Lower high now, so yeah, it is really bearish for all these alts. Well, many other founders, developers are actually dumping on retail. We also won't know. What else? A lot. You're still holding your WorldCoin. So I think WorldCoin is going to go IPO thing on September. Right. So I think it is bullish for now. Let's see. Not sure how long can it be bullish because they are also AI, right? AI field. Okay, so you're still holding. What are your chances of it to go up again? 50 cent right here. Here, 24 cents, the base. Next level, probably on the middle band here, $1. Probably might give you some side hook there, but let's see. Then on this resistance here, 77 cents. Look at weekly. So the weekly time frame, you can see down consolidating, pump, momentum. You can see a lower high coming to this high. Wick is getting bigger. So we're going to see whether can it go to maintain a green candle. If it's a reversal candle, we're going to see the middle band here at what 33 cents first before we see another reversal. Let's see. 77 cents as support, as resistance, and support will be at 33 cents. Daily, what's happening? Extreme sell, reversal, retest candle, walk or retest candle is forming. So probably price might get stagnant. Then first maybe to consolidate or to test back on the middle band. So that is Bitcoin for me. Then more exploit here. What's happening to Sahara? Another AI play here. So again, dump. Look, it's very similar to Humanity Protocol. Right? Also same. This Sahara. Okay. Look at this. Bitcoin. What should you see? Dump. Right? So this critical support. Okay. 0.018, right? Look at Rigby. Also dump. I don't know whether this is the right chart. Let's look at Binance. See. So weekly, what's happening now? Let's see. We're testing on this critical support, February 2026 level. Then of course, this is your resistance here, 4 cents. So all this during the bear market, this is what's happening. Founders, developers are dumping, are exiting. Very, very sad to see in this space during the bear market. Not everyone will strike or to even survive. Many are just pump and dump or rug pull your community members. We can see here pump consolidating then dump. There's no way you can even do this, right? So definitely there'll be insider. And now we are going to go back here again to test on those that will bring us around early this year's support. Okay, so that's why I'm saying every time if you get the airdrop, make sure to at least take back the capital first. Really want to hold, then you hold the one that are already in profit. Probably you have zero risk, you got nothing to lose from that. Right, so always make sure to capitalize your capital plus your profits a bit so that also secures your cost of investment and cost of opportunity. Fund down, lower high, heading down. Okay. This level here, 1.5 cents for next. So there you go, all this narrative. Pump and dump during the bear market. Lack of conviction, probably founders, token owners are not serious in building. Okay. So what else? What? Let's look at lighter. Last one. Lighter here. So we got lighter here. 1.5. So it's continued to remain stagnant. Now this is the range that we really want to look for during the bear market. As it consolidate like this for months and years, this is a very good time to accumulate. But better it is during the Q4 level rather than accumulating right now. Okay, so now lighter is within the accumulation range here. So it's not really going anywhere as now. Still getting rejected here, 1.63. Then we look on to the weekly time frame, so we can see also rejected at this resistance. So we know already it's ranging inside box. Might most likely to come down again. So if we ever get back again below $1, that'll be a good accumulation for later. So it can be another back again to accumulate. So higher highs, high lows, high highs, those price closing inside exhausted, most likely to break down. Okay, so you're gonna keep an eye on all those type of charts like this. See, ranging accumulation zone. This is the one that I really interested. At least, tempted to at least move up to DCA. So this is an example of how you should look for the chart on point.